From Caravan Salon Dusseldorf. I am at the Hymer stand. Now this is going out live, sorry it was just sort of not announced or anything like that, so it just without I shall do a live broadcast every day. Sorry, I'll try and do one every day. Sometimes it's not possible, but I'll do my best to do something every day and bring it to you from a different stand, so to speak. Tonight I will be having a video on this thing here, which is behind me, which is, there you go, it is the Vision Venture. In fact, I tell you what, I'll just turn the thing around, you don't want to see me, particularly as I cut myself. I changed the blade on my razor and I cut myself. Hang on, how do I turn this thing around? Here it is. We've changed it. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry, I've now got the gimbal in the way. There you go. You get a nice view. As always, it's a live broadcast, so please keep the language clean. Anybody who uses any foul language will be immediately banned. No questions. I might unban them if I think it was a mistake, but please do keep these things relatively clean. So here, what we've got, any requests, questions, and all the rest of it, send them to me, and I'll try and respond immediately. Caravan Salon is the largest RV show in the world, and whereas in, for example, the United States, they're mainly done on local events, as to a large extent it is in other countries as well. Here we have two very large events of the year, as well as lots and lots of local events as well. Now you see here, this is a professionals day, so the people who've got around us here are either journalists or the people making YouTube videos, whose videos will appear also, and we've got people who work in this industry as well, who have come here to say. Right, great questions. What is the point of these shows when they've already sold out? That is a brilliant question, and I can't give the answer. I mean, the point is, I think the point is to a certain extent for marketing. You can't buy one of these vehicles. I'm not talking about something like this, which obviously it's yeah, you can buy it if you want, but it's really something really special. But let's go and have a look. For example, what if you wanted one of these camper vans? What if you wanted something like this here, this Grand Canyon S 4x4 from Hymer? Now, if you ordered that here today and you had a stack of cash in your back pocket, you know, you'd have to wait. I certainly wouldn't have next summer. You might next autumn. You might get it for, you know, sometime in 2024. Yeah, that's a brilliant question. I mean, what is the point? I think it's to do with marketing and image and things of that nature. And the Hymer Group has said it will go to. I'll tell you what, I'll walk around. It'll go to trade fairs once every other year. It'll come here once every other year because there's huge costs involved in doing something of this nature, and you know, it's absolutely enormous, the cost involved. So therefore, by doing it on a basis like that makes far more sense. Another thing is, because Hymer wasn't here in 2020 because of COVID, then 2021 it sort of pulled out as well, and now it's got an entirely new hall which is back from everything else. And so I think here the Hymer Group has realized that this type of event is probably not the way to do sales any longer. Obviously I've got to be careful what I say because I might get myself banned from doing things like, but there's a lot. I can understand the logic. So what you get to something like this, I suspect that we'll be looking at over 200,000 people will turn up here during this 9 days of this event, and well, 10 if you include today, the professionals day, and this will mean people do the business. They talk to dealers. The dealers have to come in from elsewhere as well, and so it's the cost. Right, Gary asked, do I know? Sorry, I'm going to see this still in the way. Do I know if Hymer at the NEC? No, I don't know. I can't give that. Now, Jamie also asked, are the prices going up, staying the same, or even coming down due to pressures of living costs? Yeah, that's a really good question as well. I'm sorry, I would like to point out as well that Gary's question about Hymer being the NEC is a good question as well, so all good questions. Right, so the prices on average, now this, I'm now speaking as a person who, as an economist, I don't know if I can call myself an economist, but somebody, you know, I ran a business magazine. In my opinion, we're looking at 14% cost increases. That's on the base cost. I'm not including, you know, taxation and things of that nature. So no VAT, no excise duty where applicable, no other duties. So a roughly 14% increase in the in motorhomes and caravans. Now, because of the cost of living crisis, there is clear evidence that this is breaking the growth of RV sales. You know, it's not, okay, the fuel price is going up. I did a little, a little poll on this channel some time ago, 3 weeks ago, and I asked, is it going to affect you RVing? It's going to make you RV a bit less, or it'll stop you RVing? And it's roughly 1/3 for each of the answers. Now, so that is presumably showing people who already have a vehicle. I personally do not believe that, and of course that's not a scientific poll, but it was just viewers of this channel who already have a certain demographic. But I personally believe that the cost of fuel will not have a great effect on if people buy an RV or not. What will have is the cost of living. Now, the thing is that everything is going up in price. For example, if we take the case in 2008, you remember when fuel prices hit their all-time maximum, which were indeed much more than they are now, then other prices didn't go up a great deal. Of course, when fuel prices go, it has a knock-on effect, because the reason why supermarkets are able to charge less, and it's because largely through the distribution systems which are in place. So some basic economics now, which some of us haven't ended up talking about. But if motorways are built, you know, it's great that we can actually drive somewhere cheaply, but the real benefit of motorways being built is that food can be delivered much cheaper to the shops. So you get economies of scale. And so this is the reason. Same as when railway lines were built 180 years ago. The big benefit of them was to get coal delivered to the point of where it was going to be used, and it had this nice additional benefit that people could get on a train and go somewhere. So that is that's my analysis at the moment. This, however, will not affect the costs of RV. What might happen, I'm giving you now, there's no evidence of this but I'm just going to give you, it could be that some companies decide not to invest further, which could end up in putting more pressure, or price pressure, on those which are getting built anyway. So companies are trying to expand. The problem is at the moment that there's not a workforce. For example, in the United Kingdom, there's a big problem with finding drivers. I mean, it's not just in the UK though. You can say, okay, there's this particular reason nobody wants to be a driver in the UK and have to put up with all the export problems, and, you know, it's standing at the ports and all the rest of it, whatever. So particularly after leaving the European Union. But there's also driver shortages in other countries. Yesterday I was talking to somebody from the Netherlands, and they were saying how difficult they have stuff in their base. They can't get it to the drive. They can't get it out to the clients because the transport companies have the lorries, but they don't have the drivers. So this is a major concern. I mean, drivers in the UK, I think the average age of a driver is 58. So and it's the drivers who are bringing the parts for these vans. So let's have a look at this wonderful Hymer motorhome here. Can you imagine you've got sort of parts for this which need to be delivered? I can't see any parts this in the garage. Yeah, there you go. So for the hydraulic system, something simple like that, and because that's missing, then the whole thing doesn't get built. And it's just a rather daft example, but there's things, for example, related to the Truma, the build the boilers, and things can't get done for them. Here, we'll have a look in here. Oh, somebody in here. Hello. Oh,
Moin.
that's fine. Hello. And right, so I've got some, and walk into this rather attractive Hymer motorhome, and this thing here, you're looking at 100 and, no you're not, you're looking at 200, around 200 euros. Sorry, 200 with a K after it, 200,000 euros for this lovely big what do you call it, changing room in here. So anyway, I'll walk out now, not bother people who are in here. So anyway, I did want to give you a quick walk around the Hymer stand today, so I hope you found that of interest. But oh, hey, just before the thing I ought to be walking around, of course, is this is the Hymer Venture S. Now tonight there will be a video about it. It's not a room tour, it is a practical discussion of the Hymer Venture S as a vehicle, right? So there's all these people here who are going to do the hype and how great it is. I'm going to tell you the reality as a full-time camper, full-time motorhomer, somebody who lives in it all the time. But this is more or less where I started off from, and so this is a good place to finish. So there you have the Hymer Venture S. It looks very similar to the Vision Venture, which was presented here for the first time 3 years ago here in Dusseldorf. And so sorry, there's lots of other questions. I'm sorry, I didn't say. Alan made a live stream. Hope you're well, man. Thanks, Kev. I'm very well, and except for cutting myself with the shaver. So anyway, so Faith says she loves the Hymer dual car Mercedes. Pity they stopped production of them, as there must be others like us. They only want 2 seats. Yeah, quite right. This Venture S, incidentally, only does have 2 seats as well. So, auto caravans y campers alquiler venta homologación says thanks for the effort. And anyway, so people might buy a van on PCP with much higher interest rates. Yeah. Here's another thing I ought to actually discuss is the situation, how much you really end up paying for a van. There was one, I saw a Hymer last week. It was the model which had been used, a demonstration model. And I thought, yeah, I can't put my hands on what was it, about 85,000 whatever it was euros. But I looked at it on credit. But I mean, by the time I paid the credit, it banged the price about 60% or something absurd. And then you've got all the other things you have to pay for. And so Kevin says, hope to grab a Hymer and travel to Europe in 2023. Is the COVID situation in Europe a bit more lax? Yeah, there's no restrictions now at all whatsoever. So anyway, and Kevin's from New Zealand, yes. And nobody's using masks. No, on the bus this morning, a friend came to pick me up, and my van, and I said, yeah, I got everything. She said, have you got a mask? I said, yeah, I've got a mask somewhere. I'll have to look for it. And she said, no, I don't need a mask anyway. But I did bring my fourth COVID certificate, so with me. And so anyway, so everywhere is relaxed compared to Arden's prison. Arden? What's New Zealand? Sorry, okay. Isn't it hellish? There's a devil, and so anyway. Tone says the Hymer are going to be at the NEC. Hymer's excellent. Kev has been with me for a few years now. Hey, but don't let everybody know that, Kev. And am I in Dusseldorf? This is Dusseldorf. Hello, Mo. And great live stream as always. Thanks very much. Okay, good. I'll finish now to do some filming filming of other things. But there you have it. That is the Venture S. Tonight there's a longer video on it. So thanks for all of you for being here. It's great to have so many people on, and I'll try and do something like this every day on one company I'll pick, and then we'll have a little bit of chat about it. If you've got any requests, put them in the comments section. I may not respond to the comments, but I do actually read the comments. It's a bit more difficult because I don't have my computer. Sorry, I do have my computer with me, but it's getting, sitting down opening it. But I do read them on the comments on the phone. But I'll get round to respond to the comments eventually. Thanks very much for being with me, and all the best from me here in Dusseldorf. Bye for now.